Christmas.
Are you happy with the gifts?
Oh, we're all happy. Come on, follow me. This is live. Live TV. 2010. I've always wanted to do this. 90 days, 12 draft picks, and one massive holiday. That is, of course, what we're looking at as we approach Christmas 2011. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking, and I agree. It is a bit early to start thinking about Christmas, but let me just say that I'm not the only one. Christmas, as always, makes an early appearance, earlier and earlier each year, so people say. But actually, me celebrating the Christmas season on September 25th is nothing new. It's actually an unofficial date I set for myself as of the last 4 or 5 years as far as, when to start getting ready for Christmas. I know some people wait till November, some people even wait till December. But to me, that's just not enough time. There's so much that goes into making each Christmas special. And I'm not saying that I'm going to spend the entire 3 months working on this, but just to get an idea of what's coming up, I like to kind of do these little Christmas previews, kind of unwind, The first thing I do, believe it or not, before I even get ready for next Christmas, is to just think about last Christmas, which was Christmas 2010. Christmas 2010, really had an epic feel, obviously, no doubt aided by the epic feel from 2009, I really do believe in momentum when it comes to Christmas, Not that there are any bad Christmases, but, when there's a really spectacular Christmas, the feeling that you get during it and, just after it, you, can't wait to get back to that. So that carries through to the next year. I mean, you look back at, 2007, which is considered to be one of the greatest Christmases. After Christmas 2006, a decent Christmas, but there was room for improvement. I was like, you know what, I really want to do this again. I really want to get it right. So I really, worked on it all year, coming up with this scheme for Christmas 2007, and I set it off amazingly, and Christmas 2007 is remembered because of that. Now, going on that, 2008 maybe wasn't as great because I overextended myself in 2007, but then things quickly got back on track, and Christmas 2009, widely considered to be the best of the last decade, and the best since Christmas 1999. So all that said, all that put aside, what can we expect for Christmas 2011? Well, I guess we need look no further than Christmas 2010. As I mentioned, it rode the momentum from 2009. That said, though, now that it's been a couple of years since 2009, now that Christmas 2009 has had its chance to sit in the history books, and Christmas 2010 is slowly getting into the history books itself, Christmas 2011 can kind of go in a new direction now. I'm not saying we forget everything from the last 2 years, but, a couple of years go by, and you kind of need to reinvent yourself. I learned that a little too late in the 2000s decade. The early 2000s, when Christmas 99 passed, I talk about this momentum. You certainly don't get any more momentum than Christmas 1999, the greatest celebration of the greatest day ever. And so after Christmas 1999, Christmas 2000 was great, Christmas 01, whatever. But then you started getting into Christmas 02, 03, and it was kind of like, Christmas 99 had passed. Its time had passed. It's time to do something new. And when I say do something new, I mean, you don't obviously have to do that much new, but just kind of getting excited for Christmas because of the present and not because of the past. Not just kind of waiting for that 1999 moment to happen again, but making it happen. And that's kind of what 2011 is going to be about. Not just waiting to recreate Christmas 09 or Christmas 010, but create something new. Create this as if those didn't happen, but obviously they did. And every Christmas becomes a part of history pretty much as soon as it's over. It's the time to reflect on it. So until that point, all I can do is reflect on Christmas 010, but at the same time, I'm going to try to add to it. I'm going to try to, take some elements from it, take some new elements. I have quite a big plan this year, not as big as 07, but still a pretty big plan for 2011, because, I'm kind of a numbers guy. I kind of buy into the whole patterns, the kind of and every year I get older, every year I get another thing to add to it to either validate or invalidate what my thoughts were. And over the last 10 years, so this isn't a fluke, this has been going on since I'd say 01, 02 even, the odd-numbered Christmases, for the most part, have been better than the even-numbered. I don't know what it is, okay? It could just be as simple as, like I said, having 2 really great Christmases in a row is actually really hard to do. I don't know why. Not to say that the other one isn't great. I mean, it really gets petty when you start thinking about great Christmases compared to good Christmases, compared to amazing Christmases. I mean, there is no bad Christmas, as I've said before. Even you take 01, 02, not my best moments, but still, Christmas 2001, I would take over pretty much any day of any other year. So, I mean, really, I'm not going to complain if Christmas 2011 isn't the greatest of all time, because it's still one of the greatest days of its year, and it's still one of the greatest days of my life, just because Christmas has such a profound presence, as you all know, in the last several years of my life. But anyway, we've discussed the past a lot. There are a lot of great games coming out for this year's Christmas draft. That's one thing I'm going to be previewing in October more of, but the Christmas draft, I still haven't settled on a number. I did say tentatively there are going to be 12 draft picks. There might be more, there might be less. Last year was the first draft with only 10 draft picks, which I know seems like a small picking, but I ended up getting them all. It was the first time in draft history I got all my draft picks. There's a couple other reasons why this year's draft will be historic on its own, and I'll mention those. Very hard to top that draft. That was probably the best draft in like 5 or 6 years. Christmas 2005 still being a favorite of mine because, I mean, 6 years later, some of those games are still relevant, so you don't get much better than that for drafts. I mean, a good Christmas draft, like not a great one, but a good one, the game should last about a year. You know, by like next Christmas I should be saying, okay, you know, I'm kind of tired of these now, but if you can get a year out of a Christmas draft, that's pretty good. Most of the time, though, your drafts last maybe 6-8 months, you know. Around summer of the next year, you start kind of getting bored of the Christmas draft games. Because I will admit, Christmas makes a lot of things look more attractive than they are. I don't know what it is. Like, a lot of games that during other times of the year, I might say, I'll wait on that. During Christmas, like, a good game becomes a great game. Because it's like, oh my god, I'm going to play it on Christmas. And I play it on Christmas. And I play it for, you know, a couple weeks in January, a couple weeks in February. But then, you know, kind of loses its luster. But, you know, it gets that boost because of Christmas. And I need to realize that and refine my draft accordingly. But anyway, this is the opening of a new Christmas season. A lot of you are saying, what, in September? Yes, in September. I'm like a retailer, except I'm not trying to get your money. But anyway, say goodbye. I know you're watching this one. So, to commemorate another Christmas season coming up, which I look forward to, I hope you all do too, I have got here some Mountain Dew Whiteout, the official Christmas drink, although I'm still partial to Holiday Coke, but one of my official Christmas drinks. Mountain Dew Whiteout reminds me of a snowy day. Tastes amazing. Really makes me think of the holidays, especially last year when Mountain Dew Whiteout made quite an appearance in my Christmas decorating videos. So that said, Christmas 2011 still has a ways to go. The story hasn't even begun yet, but I'm just getting ahead of it, as I always do. So a new chapter will be added to this Christmas storybook of mine. In the meantime, I'll be doing retrospects on Christmas 09, 010, maybe even some older ones. And we'll just see you all in October and beyond as we prepare prematurely for another end-year finale. Thank you.